Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And make sure you guys like Oakland Raiders by Chat Sports on Facebook so you know exactly when I go live. Those are my news, some rumors. Now we're going to get into some 5 potential battles to watch during this offseason. And I got pretty awesome ones up there. I got defensive tackle. Who's going to be the backup to Derek Carr? Who's going to be the 4th cornerback? Safety position battle. And then a defensive end battle that you're definitely not going to want to miss. All right. Let's get into it. Defensive tackle. Who is it? How's this going to go down? Defensive tackle 1 starts off with Maurice Hurst versus Eddie Vanderdoes. So, the Raiders are hoping for more juice from the defensive interior. Gruden, who coached Warren Sapp, will be a huge proponent of this. The Raiders now have 2 intriguing talents capable in this department. Eddie showed some flashes last year but failed to notch a single sack. He also has health concerns regarding a torn ACL. Maurice Hurst is probably the most gifted interior rusher that entered the NFL draft, but he's got size questions and also has a heart problem that caused his stock to plummet. It's going to be a dogfight, but I think Hurst wins this battle. Comment below who you guys think is going to win the battle between Maurice Hurst and Eddie Vanderdoes. Okay, guys, now the next one I got coming, this is a list I wanted to show you real quick. Sorry about that. Vanderdoes, he's a 3rd rounder in the 2017 NFL Draft, 6'4", 305 pounds. And you have Hurst, who was the 5th rounder. But like I said before, from a talent standpoint, he was easily a 1st-round kind of guy. Next battle I got for you guys coming up on the board, quarterback battle. E.J. Manuel versus Connor Cook. At the beginning of OTAs, the Raiders had Connor Cook receiving snaps ahead of E.J. Manuel, which for me was surprising. It became widely apparent early on during OTAs that Gruden wants to see his quarterbacks duke it out for the number 2 and 3 job this offseason. Manuel started in place of Derek Carr last season against 2 solid defenses in the Baltimore Ravens and Denver Broncos. The Raiders lost both games, but to me, he proved to be somewhat reliable. He completed nearly 56% of his passes and threw for 265 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. I think Manuel has the upper hand in this competition, but let's bring it up real quick to this listicle here. Cook, he was a 4th rounder. Manuel, he was a 1st rounder, but probably hasn't lived up quite to that kind of hype. And Connor Cook in his career has not been successful. And, yeah, I didn't even put the playoff game in there, that's for sure, because that was like, 18 of 45 for 100 and something yards, and that was just beyond ugly, and the Houston Texans just ate him alive. And like I said last year, I thought Manuel did pretty well. But, guys, I want to know from you, who will win the backup quarterback job? And because I think this is kind of important. I mean, I think Derek Carr, obviously I hope neither Connor Cook or E.J. Manuel come are on the field. But it may happen. We saw it last year. So who do you guys think is going to win the backup QB battle? Give me a heart for Connor Cook, a like for E.J. Manuel. And for the people on YouTube, comment below Connor Cook or E.J. Manuel. Today's show, The Raiders Report, is brought to you by Mizzen & Main. Head over to comfortable.af to get a shirt because Mizzen & Main shirts are indeed comfortable AF. Next one I got for you guys coming up on the board, 4th quarterback battle. We'll loop it through here one more time. You guys can see it's defensive tackle, backup quarterback, 4th quarterback spot, safety, and defensive end for the position battles to watch this offseason. 4th cornerback battle. Who's going to win it? This is between Leon Hall and Nick Nelson. While Rashawn Melvin and Garyon Conley are the top 2 corners on the Raiders, it's going to be interesting to see who will be the 4th cornerback. Worley, I believe, locks up the 3rd cornerback position, but again, who's going to win the 4th? Hall started it in just 7 games over his previous 3 seasons and was available for only 9 games during the 2017 campaign with the 49ers. Then, at this moment, Hall has the early edge. I get it. But if rookie Nick Nelson is healthy, he could also make a push, assuming he lives up to his expectations. In 2017, the 5'11", 200-pound cornerback started all 14 games, leading the country and setting a school record with 21 pass defense and adding 35 tackles. So, we'll bring this up real quick. Hall, 1st rounder in 2007, and he's 5'11", 195 pounds. And then Nelson, who's a 4th rounder, sure, in this draft, but 5'11", 208, a little bit thicker. For me personally, I think it's going to be Leon Hall maybe to start the season, but don't be surprised if Nick Nelson gets a spot there at the end. Safety position battle coming up here. Reggie Nelson versus Obi Melifonwu. So a classic matchup of young's upstart versus grizzled veteran. Reggie Nelson turns 35 years old in September and isn't the player he was a few years ago. Still, he brings loads of experience and that leadership quality that you love to see in the defense. Yet, there's no possible way, in my opinion, that he can do all the things that Obi is capable of when healthy. That's why the Raiders drafted him. The kid is an absolute freak of nature as an athlete. It's been a question of whether his instinct and discipline could catch up to his raw skill. This training camp, though, I think is going to be a defining moment for Obi. And now we're going to bring up Nelson, first rounder again, 2007. I don't even know what I was doing in 2007. Nelson, 5'11", 210 pounds. And then Obi, you can see there, second rounder, 2017 draft, who just absolutely blew up the combine, 6'4", 207 pounds. I mean, this guy is an absolute freak of nature. Last battle I got for you guys to watch out for, Mario Edwards Jr. versus Arden Key, defensive end. And this one may be this is probably going to be the one that I'm going to watch the closest, Lees, that's for sure. Just like the defensive interior, though, the Raiders have eagerly sought a second pass rusher to complement Khalil Mack since he was drafted. They thought they had one in Alden Smith, but he predictably imploded. Mario Edwards hasn't yet found any sort of groove as a pass rusher through his 3.5 sacks in 2017 was a personal best. He'll now have to hold out against rookie Arden Key. While clearly having maturity issues, the LSU product is a gifted athlete who has shown dominant traits as a rusher. If you want to just talk about just pure talent, Key is easily a first-round draft pick. Now, we'll bring up their list schools here real quick. Edwards, second rounder in the 2015 NFL draft, 6'3", 280 pounds. And you have Key, who's a third rounder in the 2018 NFL draft at 6'5", and just an absolute monster. We'll loop these back again then. 5 position battles to watch this offseason: defensive tackle, backup quarterback, fourth cornerback spot, safety, and defensive end. Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And make sure you guys subscribe to our new Raider YouTube channel, chatsports.com/RaidersTV. And until next time, go Raiders.